All right, with us, University of Michigan. They will take on Notre Dame in the second game, second semifinal of the first night of the Frozen Four. And with Michigan advancing to the Frozen Four, it's only happened a couple other times where a university's basketball team has been in the Final Four and the hockey team has been in the Frozen Four, and Michigan has done it a couple times. Michigan State, I don't know if should I mention that?
No,
you guys? All right.
no.
It's the other team that's done it. With us is head coach Mel Pearson, student athletes Jake Slaker, Tony Calderon, and Quinn Hughes. We'll take a statement from Coach and then questions for the student athletes. Coach?
I just want to, first and foremost, congratulate our players. They were picked to finish sixth this year, or we were in the Big Ten. So the expectations weren't very high. And even at Christmas, it maybe didn't look good. But the resiliency, the stick with it, the patience with the new coach and hanging in there, and they found a way. And obviously tonight my hat's off to Boston University. I can't tell you we played the best game. I can't tell you we were the better team tonight. They're a heck of a hockey team. I have a lot of respect for David Quinn, his staff, and their players. And, we got lucky. We got lucky, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. But we were good and lucky, and, I'll point that out. And we were fortunate, but we'll take it, and we're really looking forward on getting back to the Frozen Four. Coach Berenson's did an unbelievable job with building this program and the expectations that come with it, and we're just happy to have that opportunity to go back and compete for a national championship.
Thank you, Coach. Questions for the student athletes?
Smile.
Yep, right there.
Okay, thank you. John Doyle from the Detroit Free Press. Jake, can you bring us through your goal, please? It looked like, and I say this with all due respect, it looks like you've had harder shots on net than the one you threw in there. Were you surprised that it made that deflection and went in?
Yeah. I was kind of forechecking their first defenseman, and it was at the end of a shift, so I was pretty tired. I was kind of looking for a change to get it deep, and I saw the puck squirt free kind of in the slot, and I saw their D was kind of out of reach of it, so I just tried to push it past them and shoot crossbody on the goalie because I knew he was trying to change his angle and end up hitting their defenseman and going 5-hole. I don't even think the goalie saw it change direction. So, Coach reiterating getting pucks on net all year, and good things happen. Tonight it did.
Question right here, Jim, and then we'll get John.
Thank you. For any of the players, Jim Connolly from U.S. College Hockey Online. You walked into this regional, you heard a lot about Northeastern's big line, you heard a lot about some of the big guys at BU, you heard about Cornell being a top seed, not a lot about Michigan. And what does that say maybe about this team, and was that maybe a motivating factor all week?
I think it says a lot about our team. I know, like Coach said, we've been the underdogs all year. No one expected us to be here, so I don't think that fazed us too much. I think maybe gave us a little fuel, but we came ready to play. We knew what we were up against and just played Michigan hockey, and it's worked out for us. So it says a lot about our guys in our room.
I'm gonna add one thing: we loved it.
John.
John Powers, Boston Globe for Quinn. BU's a team that specializes in going down by a couple, coming back, tying it up. What was the feeling on the bench after you guys saw them come back and tie? Because it seemed as though they had a little bit more of the pace at that point. How did you guys, how were you able to respond?
I mean, yeah, we would have been fine winning the game 3-2, but we got a really tight group, so I think we were still really confident. We just got to play our game, and like we said, going in the third period, 20 minutes, if we play the way we play, I think we have a really good chance of pulling out a W, so that's what we did, and I'm just really proud of our group right now.
Bill?
Bill Blue, Worcester Telegram. This is also for you, Quinn. I don't know what the stat is, but the team that scores first wins most of the time in hockey. And you scored first tonight. Do you go out there thinking we've got to get that first goal, or is that just a result of playing solidly in the early going, do you think?
I mean, it's always nice to get the first goal, but it's not the end of the world. So it was nice that we got the first goal, like I said, but it doesn't really mean too much, but it was great.
Tony, Dave Hendrickson, USCHO. Can you just contrast the 3 years that you spent with Red versus, adjusting to a new coach and maybe what the different approaches were, and just give us that perspective?
I think Coach Pearson coached under Red for so long. There's a lot of similarities, which we really like. Coach Pearson brings a little bit more energy when it comes to practices and stuff like that. But there's so many similarities, and Coach Berenson was such a good coach, and it's great to see those traits carried over. But as a senior, I know when the new coach was announced, the biggest fear as a senior class is hear the term rebuilding year, and that was something that I didn't want to hear come out of a new coach's mouth. And right from day one, Coach Pearson said, "We're going for it. We're going for it. This car's going to Mini." So I was really excited for Coach to say that, and happy to get this year going. So he's done a great job with the transition.
Okay, right here, please.
Tony, last night your line contributed all 3 goals against Northeastern, and tonight you had Jake and Quinn and Nick contribute, and these secondary scores rising to the occasion. What does that show about your team that you don't have to rely just on that first line?
We're deep. I mean, our line produces, but I think the other lines get overlooked. They've been good all year. They're the reason we've won games, because I know it's really easy to shut down one line, like as we've seen with Northeastern. That was kind of our game plan, and it worked out. So, yeah, it shows how deep we are, and that's going to help us going forward. As long as everyone can contribute, it'll help us out in the long run.
All right, go back here, Mike.
Mike McMahon, College Hockey News. For Jake, you said you loved it when kind of everybody was kind of counting you out coming into this weekend, and Coach had mentioned that you guys were picked 6 in the league at the start of the year. Has that been a theme that's kind of been throughout the year for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I think we're the only ones in the nation that expected us to be here at this point right now, and like I said, we do love that because we like being the underdogs, and I know we're going to be the underdogs going into the Frozen Four against Notre Dame, but we're looking forward to it. So I think it's kind of been motivation for all of us. We've had our ups and downs throughout the year, but the best time to play the best hockey is at the end, and I think that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, we'll go Bill, and then right behind you.
Yeah, Quinn, one more for you. When your dad was in Manchester, he coached a lot of games down here in this building. It was close by. Did you ever come down here with him?
I didn't, but Coach Tambellini was actually with my dad on Manchester, so he gave me a couple stories about it. Pretty funny, so.
Right behind you there, yep. There you go. Next.
Anna Marcus, Michigan Daily. So, Tony, it's your senior season. In the past 3 seasons, you guys obviously didn't make the Frozen Four, but obviously that's a goal. So what does it feel like now in your final season to know that you're actually making it there?
Oh, it's incredible. I'm just so proud of the guys in the locker room. I mean, I know we talk a lot about us being underdogs, but everyone's believed since day one. So, I mean, it's an incredible feeling. But we can be high for about 24 hours now, and then we got to come down and get back to work. The work's not done here. So, great feeling, but we got to get back to work.
Okay, right here, back here.
Chris Lynch with Inside Hockey. It's just happened that you're in the Frozen Four, but you already know your opponent in Notre Dame. Does that add any more incentive of the ancient rivalry between Michigan and Notre Dame, or is it just enough being in the Frozen Four?
I think it's just enough being in the Frozen Four. No matter who we had to play, I think we're just going to prepare for our opponent. So it's exciting that we know how they play. We've played them 4 times this year, and we've split the series. So I think we're pretty excited to play Notre Dame. But they got a good team, so all respect to them.
All right, last 2 questions for the student athletes right here, and then here, this row. Oh, we get the guy on the outside first.
Yeah, he asked my question.
Oh, he's got your question?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This is for anyone. When you went up 5-3, 6-3, was there a point in those final minutes, or did it ever come where you realized, hey, you're going to the Frozen Four?
You never really like to think that going into games. We've seen some crazy stuff happen. I mean, we've come back from 4-goal deficits. So, I don't know. I think we just needed to play till we heard that buzzer, and that's when it all set in.
Guys good?
Yep.
All right, congratulations, gentlemen. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See you, boys.
All right, we'll take questions for Coach. We'll go to Jim here in the second row.
Mel, Jim Conley from USCHO.
Hi, Jim.
You said lucky, good, you like being both. You might have been both tonight. The opportunistic part, is that a little bit of both, or is that more just the good part? That's finding ways to jump.
Well, you need good players who can take advantage of opportunities and being opportunistic also. And I think we did. Like Nick Boca hasn't had a goal all year. And I don't know what the hell he's doing on a one-goal hockey game jumping up in the play, but he saw a chance, he saw an opening, and the one thing we like to do at Michigan is let our players play. We bring guys into play, and you talk about an opportunistic time to jump up, and then a move he makes at the net. Like, that was a great move. So, yeah, we are opportunistic tonight, even on the third goal, bad bounce. Things went in for us tonight. But, is that destiny? What is that? But you have to be ready, and you have to play, and we were very fortunate. We got some bounces. The hockey gods were looking down on us tonight, no doubt about it.
Right here, Coach.
Coach, you had referred back in April about the theme with the car, and Tony had just alluded to it as well.
Yeah.
Back then, how does it feel now, knowing that you're at your final destination, which you had set back in April?
Well, yeah. So in my introductory press conference, I talked about I was just given the keys to the Prize family car, and that the car was in good shape, was in pretty darn good shape. And we just needed to make a couple adjustments, a couple repairs to that car, and then get it on the road. And that car was headed to St. Paul, Minnesota. And there's going to be some, I told, there's going to be some detours in the road. There might be a flat tire. There's going to be some adversity. We just have to navigate around that. And we did. But it's exciting, that car. And we told them last night that, one more, we can see St. Paul in the distance, in the near distance. And we're going to get that car there. Now that we're there, it's a sprint. We're sprint that last few miles. So proud and excited for the team. And I want to make a comment here. I just really thank our writers from the Michigan Daily being here. They drove out here to come and cover this team. And I thank you. Thank you for all your coverage, and thank you for your commitment to come out here and cover this team. Good for you guys. And we'll try and find some way to get you to Minneapolis, St. Paul, maybe a little easier.
All right, that said, we have another Michigan Daily question, then Bill. So no pressure on this question after that from Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Be kind.
So you made the Frozen Four 11 times as an assistant coach at Michigan, and now in your first year as Michigan head coach, you make it to the Frozen Four. What makes this appearance special, both personally and with this group, with the expectations that college hockey had for you?
Yeah, it's not about me or our staff. It's about our players. It really is. I mean, I've had my time. I've done my thing. It's all about trying to give those guys the experience that I've had before, prior, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to put them in a situation where they can get to a Frozen Four and experience that and have the opportunity to play for a championship. It's exciting, but I'm really just thrilled for them. They gave us everything they had this year. We asked them, just give us everything you have every night. Nothing more, nothing less. Just give us your best every night, and that's all we can ask. And they have. And good for them. And they've earned it. They've earned it. They've, like I said, they put up with me all year, too, so they've earned it.
Okay, Bill?
Yeah, Mel, you never trailed in these two games. You were tied, but you never trailed. In terms of the psychological aspect of it, how significant is that to not have to come from behind?
I think it's important because you can spend a lot of energy trying to come from behind. And then BU, for example, tonight, they pushed hard. They pushed hard all night, but they were never ahead. You have to keep on the offensive. And they did, and it led to that fifth goal. They were a little too, they were jumping in, but they had to. But I think it's huge. It's huge. We were down in Minnesota twice at home this year, 4-0 in one game, 3-0 in the other game. We came back and we won both games. So, it can happen. It can happen. But it feels a lot more comfortable being where we were tonight, I'll tell you that.
All right, let's go here, and then Mike next.
Thank you, Coach. I drove here as well, but from New Hampshire.
Okay, a little shorter.
Yeah. Going back to mid-season, you guys were in a tough spot, just like BU was, actually, early January. Can you talk about the journey from that point to where you are today?
Yeah, we had just lost to Notre Dame. It swept right after the new year, January 2nd, 3rd, somewhere around there, to put us a couple games below 500. But we had played well. We thought we could have won both games. But at that point, we're going from there, and the next weekend we're on the road against Minnesota, who at the time was, ranked in the top 15, and we're going, wow, this is a turning point in the season. And I think that Notre Dame series gave us some confidence. Hayden Levine played extremely well. We finally decided to go with him, but it's been night and day. The one thing about my teams, I think, if you look in the past, is we haven't been maybe as good in the first half, but we've been pretty good in the second half. And I can't put any reason on that, but we try and train them every day to get better and to get in good habits. And at this time of year, you just have to go play. So, but it was a remarkable turnaround. We also, the freshmen stepped up and the sophomores. We have a young team, just like BU does. And we mirror BU. It's like looking in the mirror. Their second half was much, much better than their first half. And we were the same. I think our young players weren't our young players anymore. They started to contribute, and that really helped their team also.
All right, a couple more. Let's go to Mike in the back, please.
Coach, kind of the same question I asked Jake. I mean, you had alluded to it, pick six in the conference at the beginning of the season. Nobody was really talking about you guys coming into this weekend. Did you kind of get the sense that this group had that playing with that chip on their shoulder, I guess, throughout the entire year?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, all through the year, we weren't getting much love in the polls, and I don't know if you have a vote in that, by the way, but we weren't getting a lot of love, which is okay. We didn't deserve it. We didn't deserve it at the time, but we knew we had some things within the team that we had a chance if we could just get everything together, but no doubt about it. Even coming out here when we saw the bracket, I think our whole team thought we were going to Sioux Falls. Just I've been on the committee. I've seen how it sort of shakes down, and we weren't, but I was okay with that. And you know, but here we are. We're playing Northeastern in Mass. We're playing BU in Mass. So again, it fit right into our mantra and how we wanted to play. So I thank the committee for putting us here.
Dave, right there.
Dave Hendrickson, USCHO. Coach, any time that you'd bring a team to the Frozen Four, you'd be really happy about it. But how much more does it mean to you personally, given how deep your roots are in the Michigan program?
Well, I'm just so happy for our athletic director, Ward Manuel, Josh Richelieu, our administrative assistant for hockey, Doug Ganotke, the people who helped bring me back to Michigan. And I take this job seriously, and our coaches do. We take it very seriously, and we were brought here for a reason. And so there's some sense of satisfaction, but I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Coach Berenson, who built this program to what it is, and the expectations at Michigan are high. I knew what I was getting into. And the one person who Coach Beeline told me, be careful, don't win too many games your first year. So, but he's a good friend, and you're not wired that way. So anyway, but yeah, I'm just thankful that I hopefully had a small part in helping this team. But it's really the players. I don't score any goals. I don't block any shots. I don't kill any penalties. It's the guys you have in that locker room that have to go in and do it. It's just getting them to buy in and play together and play as a team, and they've done a great job at that.
All right, last two quick ones from the Michigan guys down here.
The semifinal appearance against Notre Dame will be the fifth time you see this team, obviously one you're very familiar with. What do you anticipate from that matchup?
I like the matchup. I mean, this wins the series. We're 2-2, so we get an opportunity to go and play them. We've had 4 really close games, so I think it's a toss-up this game. But we're the underdog. You know, they were expected to be there. They're the number 1 seed, so it fits right into where we want. I like the matchup. I really like the matchup with them. So we'll get our team. We got to work on some things. We got to get better in some areas. We've got to use the next 10 days to get better. And when we get on that ice in St. Paul, we've got to be ready to go. But it's going to be a great game. It's a great rivalry, and I like the matchup.
All right, last question for Coach.
You talked about how Coach Berenson built up this Michigan hockey program, and you took over right where he left off. I know he's here in Worcester this weekend. Yeah. Have you had any conversations with him, and have you seen him since you clinched this?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, I just, we wanted to make sure, and Red's been great. We talk a couple times every week. It's nice to have someone there just to be able to listen to, and he's given me some good advice this year also, and it's so neat, and I'm so thankful to have him out here with us. And I told him, you're going to St. Paul. You don't have a choice now. He's a little bit of a good luck charm now. So, but it's you can't put a price how valuable it is to have a man like him around that's been through it, just to pick up the phone or just to walk over to his office and just talk to him. And he's been great. He's been great. Sometimes I think he's too worried about getting in the way, but I told him, we even put a locker in our coach's room for him. We added 4 lockers, and just to make sure that he knows he's always welcome at Michigan hockey.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.